Hi everyone, this is a presentation about social influence part 2 for course Social Psychology 512. My name is Fatima Faraji. I present for week 5. Materials for week. Chapter 7, Conformity from Social Psychology. Chapter 8, Group Processes from Social Psychology. The article Exploring Social Identity Theory and the Black Sheep Effects Among College Student Athletes and Non-Athletes. The other article is The Myth of Conformity, Adolescent and Abstention from Unhealthy Drinking Behavior. Main topics: conformity, compliance, and obedience. These are a main concept in social influence. The next topic is related studies, Sheriff and Ashe studies and Milgram study. Social impact theory. The next one is presence of others, group interaction. And the last one is group think and group setting. We start with definition of each concept. Conformity. Conformity is an orientation to change insights, ideas, and behaviors because of the group norms. People change their behaviors to be accepted based on the group norms, based on the cousins. The example for conformity is when a person drinks because friends do it, or when we following the rules in driving, following fashion or grading. All of them are examples in everyday lives. Compliance. Compliance is behavior changing because of direct requests. In compliance situations, people pursue direct exact requests. For example, when a friend asks you do something for him or for her. For example, they ask you, can you do me a favor? You follow the request even you don't want to do that. Obedience. If a request comes from a position of authority, it causes the social influence, which is obedience. The example for obedience is the famous one is every request comes from the boss at works. Relationship between social influence concept. This diagram can show the relationship between concepts better. Situational factors in conformity, compliance, and obedience are divided to two main categories: majority influence and minority influence. Majority and minorities might extract different kinds of conformity and apply different types of pressure. This is more likely that people resistance to conformity if they form an unity in opposite opinion. The social influence can practice in majority influence better. Because of their numbers and status, they have more power. An individual flaw is deviation from majority agreement. Indeed, an incorrect status is supported by in-group majority cannot be corrected by in-group minority because they have less power. Two dominant studies related to social influence. One of them is for sheriffs at 1935 and Ashes at 1951 studies in relation to different type of conformity. Sheriff and Ashes studies demonstrated different kinds of influence and conformity, such as private influence, public influence, informational conformity, and normative conformity. They examined the extent to what social pressure from a group affects on an individual to conform, based on MacLeod 2018. The other famous research is Milgram's research on obedience to authority. Milgram's research on harmful side of obedience illustrated the extensive individual's capacity of obedience to authority and the unit of situational factors that enhance or diminish the probability of obedience to harm the other people. In 21st century, Milgram's research continues to study more the procedures of social influence that produce and reinforce disobedience behaviors. Social impact theory. Social influence situations have different impact on people. Social impact theory includes three factors that impact on social influence situation: strength, immediacy, and number. Strength is the power that the influence source on people who are being influenced. Immediacy refers to the relationship in time and space between the influence source and the goal of efficacy. The impact is greater if the source is closer. And number. Number related to the item of influence sources. The impact is more with larger the unit of sources. I give an example about social impact theory to understand it better. Imagine you are driving to your parents' home to visit them because you are so busy and the other day you don't have any time to spend with them. Suddenly your friend calls you and you change your mind to join them in party. The party costs you because it's kept you from visiting your parents at your limited time. And your friends influence you, and that influence is a social impact. In this example, the relationship you have with your friends is strange, and the time you had to visit your parents is immediacy. And the source is two sources actually, your friends and party. Presence of others. People's behavior is influenced by the presence of others extremely. It progresses their performance on simple tasks but decreases their performance on difficult tasks. It means when we are doing a simple task, watching by people is kind of encouragement for us and we do better. But when we are doing a difficult task, watching by people decrease our performance. About group interaction. Our most interactions are with people in our group. This diagram shows this group interaction is simplified by three factors. One of them is group cohesiveness, and the other one is the existence of rules for various members, and the last one is shared norms for group activity. Groupthink and group setting. The concept of groupthink forms in interaction with others. When people share their convictions, they reinforce them and lead to group decision making while have a strong tendency to find coincidence among group members. Group setting forms based on different motives that people bring to their group interaction. This diagram shows the motives can form this group setting. As you see, there are three group settings: cooperation, competition, conflict. Setting of conflict can escalate between groups that reinforced by deformed opinions of the other group. Conflict can decrease with strategies such as negotiating, finding common ground, and using graduated and reciprocated initiative intention reduction, or GRIT. Article summary. There are two articles in the materials of week. One of them is the myth of conformity. Adolescents and abstention from unhealthy drinking behaviors. The findings of this article showed that adolescents in group friendship are a mix of non-drinking and drinking, and probably help adolescents continue or refrain from alcohol use even when they are in the friendship group supportive of alcohol use. The other article is about exploring social identity theory and the black sheep effect among college students, athletes, and non-athletes. The result of this article revealed that the leniency effect for student athletes compared to non-athletes. Nevertheless, of the main characters athletic status rather than the in-group favoritism, and they indicate more negative reaction to BSE or black sheep effect in group. Discussion. There are two questions to answer in this section. Question 1. How does the concept of conformity form in relationship with God? Question 2. Considering that each type of social influence changes our behavior in different ways, and we constantly conform to the norms of the groups as a member of them, such as society, peers, and work team, what is the best response to compliance and obedience situation in your life? These are the references for this presentation. Thank you for watching my presentation and thank you for your time.